Hi, this is Domini Celebre, author of Painting the Landscape of Your Soul, and here are some intuitive painting tips to make your experience today, or for this workshop, just deeper and better and more heart-filled for you. So intuitive painting is not about any learnt skill. It's like your inner 4-year-old comes out and responds to color, shape, and form, which are the language of our intuitive, unconscious, creative muse. What you're going to do in this workshop is, it's really an inward journey. It's going to be a journey inside you in communication with your creative muse, your intuitive self, and your higher self, your higher spirit, your soul, whatever you want to call that. So it's not about watching a video of me on how to do the work. It's about just really setting some guidelines and looking inside and having a conversation inside. So the language of your unconscious is color, shape, and form. That's all you need to worry about. Your body, your inherent soul energy will dialogue with you through color, shape, and form. And all you have to do is listen. Now I know that sounds really easy and really hard at the same time. So here are some guidelines. So first, you have a supply list, so I'm assuming that you have a nice place where you can paint. I call it the creative womb. So find a space where nobody's going to really bother you, where even by preference your critters aren't going to come in if you have any, your kids if you have any, are just going to leave you alone. So allow the space to be you time. So tell your partner, your sweetie, your kids, your cats, your dogs, and whatever other critters you have that can come in and easily distract you, just to stay outside for a couple hours while you paint. Create a sacred womb. Now I like to do that by lighting a candle or lighting incense and really allowing yourself to signal with incense or color or a candle that it's your time, it's your private time. If you have some flowers that you want to bring in, if you want to bring some photos in or some objects or statues or whatever, to put, I call it the altar, like a place that really kind of sets the space for your creative experience. Go ahead and create that. I also recommend that you don't paint with music. Music is incredibly provocative. It's emotional, it takes you to memories or to desires, and intuitive painting is a present moment experience. It's like one brush stroke at a time, and music can kind of help you travel into other places. I mean, that is the benefit of it. This is a body feeling sensation experience. It's not a mind experience. So I recommend that you take your beautiful mind and ask it to go up on a shelf for a little while and just take a vacation. I mean, the mind is always going, always going, always going, always planning, always thinking about the past or the future. But to stay in the present moment, you have to stay in your body. Intuitive painting is an embodied experience. So take your mind and put it on a shelf and just tell it, you can give it a job if you want, like sorting your taxes or something. But just tell it to take a little break. And you're coming into your body. So sometimes your body will actually dialogue to you about what it wants to show up on the painting. So the hardest thing is to start, is to get that paint, choose the brush, and put it on this white blank of paper. So what I recommend is you just get really quiet for a minute and ask your body what part of it wants to start talking, and just find that part of your body that's saying, oh, me, and just say, great. Hello, shoulder. What color would you like? Take the very first color that shows up. One moment, one brush stroke, one experience. That's how we stay in the present moment of intuitive painting. So perhaps my shoulder one's blue. I go and get blue and I put it on the paper. Sometimes what you can do is say, oh, my shoulder wants a color, but I'm not getting a color. Then go look at all your paints and look at the one that kind of stands out more. Basically, the paint's going, me, pick me. And all you have to do, again, is worry about that one moment. Take the brush, put some blue on it, in this case, put it on the paper. Follow the energy. Follow the aliveness. And so maybe you just start making, I don't know, a whole bunch of blue circles. Great. You keep doing that until you run out of energy. And then you ask your heart, your soul, your landscape, your body, what's next? And you just keep going. So you're following your feelings, not your mind. Try not to figure out why these things are showing up. Try not to be attached to a story. Just don't judge any of the juice and just follow the energy. Follow the aliveness. And this whole process, this intuitive painting process, is about process, not product. It does not matter what it looks like at the end, right? In fact, most of my paintings, like this one behind me, will end up being wrapping paper because it's not about the outcome. It's more about the experience I had when I was painting it. So follow the process, follow the ebbs and flows of your body, follow the ebbs and flows of your feelings, and just one color, one brush stroke, one moment. That's all you have to do, is worry about that. If something shows up in your painting that you don't like, don't cover it up because it's part of you. Everything that shows up on your painting is part of you. Don't cover it up because it's just not a nice thing to do. And it's like covering a part of yourself up. Everything shows up for a reason. It may be just for that reason, for you to go, I don't like it, but who cares? I mean, how many times can we do that in life? Oops, sorry, don't like it, and move on, right? Present moment experience, present intuitive painting experience. I also like to say you're going to ruin your painting, you're going to really fall in love with it, and the next brush stroke is going to ruin it. So ruin it again, ruin it often, just keep ruining it. Process, not product. So just a few other things. If you are doing this and you have other people that live with you, my recommendation is please don't ask people to comment on your paintings. I think about this work as internal work, like a journal. And if you want to have it up in a room, nobody's allowed to comment on it because nobody understands what you feel when you're looking at that painting. And I actually do like to keep my paintings up for a while because I'm kind of processing them. So ask the people that you live with, no comments, please. Oh, and one more thing that I really recommend, actually stronger than recommend. I'm going to say, don't tear up your paintings. If you're in the process of it and you absolutely hate your painting, don't tear it up. Find the color, shape, and form that moves you past the resistance. And if you get distracted, if all of a sudden you feel like you want to check your email or any of that stuff, you've bumped into something that is kind of pushing your limiting belief. So don't tear up your painting. Always go back to the body and say, okay, what color, shape, and form needs to show up again? And if it doesn't pop into your head, like really find out what body part is vying for your attention and say, okay, what color? All you have to do is do the next step. You don't have to worry about why or anything else, okay? If you're painting in a group, so if you are in a community or an online class, I'm going to ask you not to have painter's envy. Everybody is here for their own personal experience, not for copying anybody else's style. This is really about you, your heart, your soul, your life, your destiny, your journey. So, you'll see other people's paintings. Don't comment on other people's paintings. Don't comment on yourself about other people's paintings. when you go, oh, I can't do that. Well, you know what? That's them. This is you. Stay in your truth, in your mark, in your experience. If you're an artist, you actually are going to have a harder time doing this work because you kind of have a muscle memory of color, of hues, of composition, of where things should be in a painting. So if you have any training, and I mean even grade school training of art, you're going to have to take it and put it off to the side, and your art training and your mind can have a nice party while your heart, your soul, your unconsciousness, and your creative muse do the deep, deep work. This work is healing. It's healing because you get to try out different aspects of yourself that maybe you didn't get to experience in real life, on paper. I've been doing energy work for over 25 years, and what I've watched is the same thing that happens in a healing treatment. People have an experience, your body, mind, muscle memory changes so that when you meet that limiting belief in life, you've already experienced it in the painting, so you actually live it differently. And so you start to expand. In the painting experience, you will only go as far as you can personally handle. You will only touch places that you're ready for. Your soul is ready to grow here, and it doesn't need to be restricted by ego. Creativity and healing meets in your heart, and then your heart heals, and then you begin to change. Let your being repattern itself with paint on paper, and enjoy yourself. Thanks.